Quick welcome to everyone just joining us over on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook. I might sleep in here. Okay, you can sleep in here for sure. I'm just kind of scrolling up and catching up with the chat. J Man is all over the place. Abby's at 6 out of 10. Berlin, life is strange. Before the storm, got a foot of snow potentially coming. Yeah, I think the winter is bearing down. So someone has got Noble Ancient. Noble Ancient is sharing. Right now I'm feeling strategic. 7 out of 10. Strategic, 7 out of 10. Berlin says, I don't know the lyrics to that song. Well, I mean, you don't have to know the lyrics. So Valerie P says, I'm low key. I'm getting work done. I love that. Got to get that work done. Hopefully the experience, I got to make sure that I take care of my folks over on the other channels to make sure they have experience that they can work with. Because I know a lot of times my long pauses like rock people to sleep. So, all right. Captain Phantom is here. Welcome in. Phantom, it's always great to see you. I hope that you've had a great week so far, or as you would say, a week full of evil and ill will towards mankind, however you want to put that. We're glad to have you here. I appreciate you. DJ Prodigy is in the building. I'm glad to have you this morning. Prodigy blessed us with a cool Throwback Thursday mix yesterday. So I had a chance to listen into that as I was getting prepared for as my adventure of the day, as Noble would call it, just listening in to some old school hip hop and R&B from the 90s. It's nice to have a little bit of nostalgia in your experience. So I appreciated that. So however you show up here is fine. Hopefully whatever the experience here, wherever you are on that scale of 1 to 10, hopefully by the time you get ready to leave this space, it'll be a little bit better. That's just leaving a little bit better than you came is my aim as we go into, the things that we're going to talk about today. I know that we all have our struggles. Someone has shared anonymously that they are 0 out of 10 currently going through a relapse of their eating disorder. So hopefully you have some help and some assistance, some people around you that can support you as you work through the recovery from that challenging health emergency, honestly. So we have Captain Phantom is -0, if that's a thing. I don't know exactly how -0 can be a thing, but somehow for Captain Phantom that's a valid numerical expression. But right on. That's where you at. Hopefully we can get you at just 0. We can get you from -0 to just 0. Noble, there's no such thing as a lot of things, but we'll allow it. I mean, there is a such thing as a -0 in poetry. So if it's just a metaphor or, we'll allow it. I think Captain Phantom is making a good point. If it doesn't exist, why is it sitting right here? You see it, it must exist. All right. So I think that we all have a set of situations that we're dealing with, challenges, and no one is in a position to evaluate the severity or the seriousness of whatever another person happens to be going through. Um, so we got Hyrith prepping, Noble contemplating imaginary numbers. Abby said, I forgot. I forgot that I am that part. I'm sad but happy. Sad because my mom got COVID, and happy because of my baby. He's got his first tooth and starting to crawl. Oh man, that first tooth. Well, I hope that mom gets better and is able to get through. So over on YouTube, Valerie P is at a 7 out of 10, might need a little bit more coffee. I feel like we are in a productive phase over there with Valerie, trying to take advantage of some newfound inspiration, maybe. That's not what I wanted. So yeah, I think that's definitely a cool thing to do. If you're at about 7 out of 10, that's winning as far as I'm concerned. All right, we got more responses here. We got Berlin is 10 out of 10. Can't complain, just got to be responsible and take stuff. I think complaining about things is a waste of time. I'd rather get things done than find a solution. I can understand that. That's well, I mean, complaining. Sometimes we need to vent. Sometimes we need to mourn. There are a lot of different things that we can do as we address the reality and get to a place where we can have a level of comfort with what is. So complaining isn't 100% a waste of time. Sometimes we just need to get it off and get it out of our system, and then to give us the clarity to move through. We have to give ourselves that grace to not be perfect and always being aware of, maintaining a productive and positive mindset is a practice for sure. So yeah, there's definitely a time. He's like, don't do weeks. I think the big thing today is I want to, despite all the different things that we might be experiencing that we would maybe not necessarily choose given a choice, I think that it is worthwhile to recognize our ability to find joy in the midst of all of that. So, are we ready? Let's go to the next prompt. Good morning, Bex. How are you? Go ahead and drop me a heart in the chat. I think we might have a pretty decent read on how everybody's doing. So yeah, let me give Bex some visibility. All All right, let's get this. Oh man, I am Carlos is here. Welcome in, Carlos. Thank you so much for joining us. We're getting ready to go into the next prompt. So let me do this to avoid any last minute entries. If you still want to talk about how you are, you want to put a number on it, you can put it in the chat. We're getting ready to go to our next prompt. Zaddy Shrek, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. All right. So speaking of choosing joy, let's think about this. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. Okay. Yeah, let's go for it. What are some little things that give me or bring me delight? Some little things that bring me delight. And I like that. Playing right now in the background, if you're listening on Spoon, is John Coltrane's version of My Favorite Things. So little things that bring you delight. Sometimes you might bring something up that someone else in here needs to know about, needs to learn about. So what are some little things that bring you delight? So Zaddy Shrek says that elder midget horse, little things that bring you delight. Okay, we'll work with that. We'll work with that. Oh, pony brings you delight. Yeah. Oh, pony. Oh man. So someone anonymously says, someone says that after that first 5 minutes, just the first 5 minutes after I wake up, after that, it's a wrap, baby. You get 5 good minutes. But it's rare. I think that for many of us, that first 5 minutes is kind of rough. I don't know. Do you wake up well? Do you wake up feeling good? I know a lot of people. Let me just stop talking about a lot of people and talk about myself. Sometimes that first 5 minutes is you gotta slowly come online with your thoughts and your emotions. It can be a little bit treacherous. So Cap says, no, I don't wake up feeling good. Berlin says, most time I wake up feeling pretty good. That's what's up. So little things that bring Berlin delight are smelling good, looking sharp, and exploring. Smelling good, looking sharp, and exploring. Noble Ancient says, the smallest thing that brings me delight is successfully testing a game in progress and then moving on to starting the next project. Just those little bits of progress through something and something that matters to you brings you delight. Captain Phantom is such a character. So for Warrior, the little things that bring delight are drums, writing, and sleep. Not drums, the drums. Not just drums, the drums. Writing and sleep. So for Abby, I think tea, bubble baths, and seeing my kid laugh. Those all bring me a lot of joy. That and my annoying partner. With love, of course. Abby in the bubble bath. Love that. So for Bex, it's hair bows and bow brooches. So little bows bring Bex delight. Hair bows and bow brooches. Okay, I love that. That little bit of a flourish. Raven Boy is here. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. So on Facebook, I'm sorry, on YouTube, Valerie says puns, flowers, dogs, soft pillows, slippers, the smell of cookies, a good hair day, sunset, making people laugh, progress, the smell of books. Wow, it's a nice list. That's a nice cozy list. Man, I want cookies now. Cookies in the chat, please. What a great list. So for Hyrith, it's the smell of burning leaves, a good cup of coffee, maple bacon, the smell of the forest waking up, sharing moments with my son and our dog, the animals coming out to eat the food that I leave out. Those are all cool things. You got Bambi ambling over to eat, to nibble on the goodies that you left behind. I love that. Bianca's Candy, Chels, thank you so much for joining us. So for Old Pony, shoes, new socks, new record for my favorite band, and good rest. So Old Pony, are you gonna get socks for Christmas? Because socks is like the universal, socks and underwear was like the universal Christmas gift when I was growing up. We used to sing about getting socks. You knew it was going to be socks. You could tell by the packaging that it was going to be socks. 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 In 4-part harmony. Socks. 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 Oh man, now I love it. All right. Okay. Somebody, the last one that's in here, says anonymously, and she ain't even in here. Rachel. Somebody in here got a crush. Got a crush because it's anonymous. Oh, Rachel ain't even here to know. But if Rachel comes in today, let Rachel know. Remind me if I forget. If Rachel comes in today, let Rachel know that there is an admirer, I guess. All right. How about that? Say aye, aye, Captain. All right. Thank y'all so much for letting us know the little things that bring you delight. We are, yeah. Let's Are y'all ready to like kind of? I know we did. These are like two sort of opening prompts, but let's get into our theme for today, shall we? Are y'all okay with that? Drop me a heart in the chat. I guess you could probably smell it a coming by what I've said so far. But let's get into it, like officially. So let's talk about joy. Joy doesn't require permission. I think that sometimes when we are aware of all the challenges and suffering that exists in the world, even the specific problems that exist in our own personal experience, we might feel bad for feeling good. And, it's easy to view history, the history of humans, as through this lens of cruelty, hatred, suffering, war, death, all those things that have dominated the happenings of our existence. But while all that was going on, or maybe because all of that was going on, we drummed and danced and sang and made art and made love. So even if joy is not your dominant emotion at this moment, there still may be some glimmers of it. Like think about the glimmer of the stars in the sky at night. Even though it's mostly dark, there's still some light. And you may not have the energy to actively pursue joy. If sadness is what you feel, the sadness is fine to feel. But sometimes joy pursues you. And if it does, just allow it. Allow it. Allow yourself to laugh and smile if that's what comes up for you, even if it's dark. If your dog invites you to a tussle or your cat brushes against you, just allow it. Be reminded that joy exists and try to find a map to it if you can. So, in talking about joy, let's go deeper into the conversation, if we may. With our next prompt, start building maps to where joy may be found. Speaking of maps, I want you to, for the next prompt, we're going to describe one of your favorite places in the world. Let's describe one of your favorite places in the world. I'm going to open up the request box. Underroots is like, what did I join? Oh, man. Howard says, I had a stalker named Joy not too long ago. It's all right. Let's open up this box. Let's describe one of our favorite places in the world. And let's try to do it in like 2 sentences. 2 sentences to describe one of your favorite places in the world. The request box is open. I want to say hello. Everybody put some green hearts in the chat. Let's put some green hearts in the chat and say hi to my mom. My mom is here, up, listening in. So drop her some green hearts in the chat if you don't mind. Spam the hearts so she can easily see them on YouTube before she lays back down and goes to sleep, like many of you do while you're listening to the stream. which is fine. I mean, it's fine. But green hearts, green is my mom's favorite color. So, so we want to describe one of our favorite places. Let's do it in like two sentences. Chels, Chels says, I'm always cramming some assignment on here. Well, hopefully, hopefully these are cramming vibes. There we go. So we're describing our favorite, one of our favorite places. She says, my mom says, thanks everyone. All right. So let's get into some of these favorite places. So Texas T says, my favorite place in the world is the Alamo. Men knew they were going to die for a cause and they did it regardless. Also, shout out to mom. All right. Yeah, I think that, visiting historical places can give you a lot of appreciation for sacrifices that people have made to enable the experiences that we take for granted sometimes. So I can definitely appreciate that. So Noble says, one of my favorite places in the realm of the world is wherever Alexis is. My love for them is infinite and sincere. Noble hit it smooth. Hey, hitting the smoothest ones. Like, my favorite place is wherever you are. You dig? Nick V is here. Welcome in, Nick V. Thank you for joining us. Y'all write that one down. That's a good one. I guess I need to stay on camera. I'm reaching all off the screen. All right. So let's do this one. Shout out to Noble and Alexis, the Jackson 5. 19-year-old grandpa is here, JR Productions. So we got Abby. I really like Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan and the beach there. Another place I really like is Bing. Bing is my dad's house. Y'all can go ahead and I don't know, y'all can dance in the chat, put some dance emojis if this is a vibe. It's Friday. We have fun in here. Captain said, I don't dance. Tree is here. Welcome in, Tree. It's good to see you. We're talking about our favorite places. Berlin, some sort of wall, I guess, that you can fall asleep and get lost. Favorite place? Okay. Warrior says, my favorite place? Not sure. All right. Old Phony says, Chicago. Chicago. Walking to see the fog of Lake Michigan, the architecture. The architect, Cyber Shots just popped in for a second. What's up, Cyber Shots? The architecture, different languages, walking down the busy streets, the wind. Old Pony likes the wind of Chicago, which I don't know, man. Necessarily. I can't necessarily get with you on that one, but I've been to Chicago though. It was an interesting experience, so I'll tell you about it one day. Not my favorite place. All right, let me get focused here. Okay. So Underoos says, Wingstop, boneless mango habanero wings, 79 cents every Tuesday. A whole Wingstop ad. That's a pretty good deal. Texas T says, I like the smoke of Chicago. I am the smoke. Like, I am the danger. Oh, I am the one knocking on the door. Captain Phantom says, I admire Japan. Japan is a beautiful country. All right. That's what's up. Japan. So for Bex, it is riding the train in DC, laughing at tourists and people watching. So Bex likes to judgmentally ride the metro and look at the astonished faces of tourists. Jay Flocka. Jay Floxka, welcome in. It's good to see you. Tree, thank you so much for the like. I appreciate it. All right. Let's see here. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of justice. So Nick V says, one of my favorite places is a dam where I go to smoke. It is so peaceful and it calms me a lot. And I love the sound of running water. Like, can you get the same effect, the same running water effect if you are, like while you brushing your teeth and, do you just be like having a high water bill, Nick, just because you're like, I don't know, just like the way the water sounds when it's running. So over on YouTube, Valerie says, my favorite place is anywhere cozy with the acoustics of a natural surrounding, unless it's a storm, probably. Anywhere where I can sit quietly in company. Love that. Nick says I just leave the bathtub running all day. That's sort of a nature sound. I guess, Valerie, if you can't get out and get the nature sound, maybe you can leave water running and get that same vibe if you ever feel the need to connect to that. But nothing beats the real thing, right? Getting out there in nature. So Hyrith says, arboreal and pure. My favorite place is beautiful, but sometimes harsh. I love my forest and her perfect peace. I love my forest and her perfect peace. Sounds lovely. Makes me want to walk in the wood. What's the difference? You know how in some contexts people say the wood, like when you're going out, and then some people say in some contexts it's called the woods. How do you draw that distinction? When do you call something a wood, and when do you call it the woods? I think I might have just answered my own question with the way that I responded there. But think about some of your favorite places. Are these places that are accessible to you? One of the ways that we can find a map to the joy that we deserve, or maybe not even deserve. That maybe we don't need to even deserve it. It kind of exists outside of our deserving. Joy is just kind of out there. Um, are the places that we find enriching and joyful? How often do we give ourselves the opportunity to abide in those spaces, to just exist in those spaces without an agenda, without you know, a goal, just a goalless a goalless existing in a space that feeds you. Just being present fully in those spaces can do so much to enhance your experience. Mystery 1177, welcome in. It's great to see you. Okay, so Hyrith has broken it down, said woods is a single property. A forest spans multiple properties of countries. There's acreage definition. Okay. So I wasn't talking about woods and forests. I was talking about woods and wood. All right. Okay. So hopefully, with the weekend approaching, we're wrapping up another week. Maybe some of the places. Yeah, I'm making word salad, semantic salad. I got to do that sometimes. But hopefully, for some of you, the places that bring you some joy and delight are places that you have access to on a regular basis. Um, and the next time you go, remember and try to savor that experience as much as you can, because there's no guarantee when you might be able to go there again or be there again. So, try to find something like that if you can. All right. Are we ready to go to our next prompt? If so, go ahead and drop me a little heart in the chat and we'll get into that. All right, I see some hats, some puzzle pieces. All right, let's get into it. So let's bring it into a place that's a little more personal. Let's talk about you for a second. Enough about me. Let's talk about you for a second. Imagine, uh, yeah. Imagine how cool you are, and let us know, what do you receive compliments for? What do people tend to compliment you about? What's something that you receive the most compliments for? Because I think that, It might not be meaningful. It might be something superficial. I don't know. How well do you take compliments? Do you take compliments well? Do you accept them, or do you like, oh, it's nothing? Do you, dismiss them, or do you just receive them? The receipt of a compliment is uh, a rare art. Most people have a hard time sitting in that adulation or appreciation. And if you have a hard time accepting a compliment, if you feel a little bit embarrassed, I know there are a lot of things. We were raised in different ways, supposed to exhibit humility and, you know, defer the attention that people notice in you. And, you don't have to be, um, I don't know, there's self-deprecation is dangerous. Cami is here. Welcome in, Cami. Let us know what you receive the most compliments for. That's the conversation we're having at the moment. I'm glad that you're here with us. Excited to get to know you. If you're watching on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook, think about the things that people notice in you and compliment you for. So Harvey says, I don't often get compliments. Sometimes people say my vocabulary is obnoxiously expansive. Being obnoxiously expansive in the words that you use it's sort of a backhanded compliment. Abby says my partner compliments me all the time. Other than that, I think I get complimented most on being nice. You're so nice. Hello, Ches. What do people compliment you about? Let me get this out of the way. I don't know why. And maybe let us know, does that compliment do you feel like it's true? I guess if you hear it enough, it must have some kernel of truth, right? You would think. Kurt, thank you so much for the like, fan. Appreciate it. All right. Let's see what we got here. So, Ches says, people compliment my contagious laughter. My contagious laughter. It's nice to have a laugh that fills the room. Cami says, I've been told I make people feel comfy. It's nice to have people. It's nice to have people around who can kind of make the space feel warm. And I really would. I know that y'all are adding things to the chat. Make sure so that I don't miss it. Let's try to use the request box as much as possible. We do have a lot of folks and a lot of conversation going on. I definitely don't want to miss what you have to say. So Noble says, I receive the most compliments for my sincere personality and willingness to help. I take compliments well and see them as they arrive. So yeah, thank you. You can just say thank you. You don't have to be like, I know. All right. Shout out to all the folks listening in on YouTube. Let us know, what do you get complimented for most often? I know for Retha, which is mom, singing is what she gets complimented most for. Complimented for vocals. So Warrior says, my eyes, I get compliments on my eyes, and I'll take that. That makes sense to me, Warrior. That makes sense to me. Anybody that's on um, anybody that's on Spoon right now can mash the Warriors profile pic and see what you're talking about. Berlin says, just physical compliments don't flatter me. Compliments about my passion and my intelligence is what catches my attention. Berlin says, "Look, I know I look good. I don't. I you say I look good. That don't mean nothing to me. You know, tell me I'm smart. Compliment compliment my insides. Don't get caught up on the outside." All right, Berlin. All right. So Howard says, "Are frequent compliments like a thing? I don't even know how to react to that." Yeah, people do be, it's a lot of butter to be spread around out here. People be buttering up. So Bex says, my clothes and how chill I am. Bex do be chill though. And Bex do be put together too. So I know from firsthand. I knew from firsthand of being of misunderstanding the assignment. So when I had lunch with brunch with Bex, and I looked at myself and looked at her like what she was wearing. I was like, somebody didn't understand the assignment here. Clearly, I'm underprepared for the situation that we're dealing with right now. But it is what it is. Alexis says, I have a red and black checkered skater dress that always garners compliments every time I wear it. It falls on me well and suits my figure. So you got that go-to fit that makes you it makes you turn them heads. Mo Camps is here. Welcome in. Welcome back. It's great to have you. So Cybershots is on YouTube and says that I make people laugh when I'm not trying to. That is the compliment. It's like I'm just out here existing, being me. Got people laughing and smiling. An easy personality. Somebody that brightens the room and lightens the mood. Cybershots hit you. What's going on? What's going on? Dang on Cybershots. Send that chopper out here, scoop you up. Gotta go pick you up. So Old Pony says, I get compliments on my hair, my kindness, my ability to make people. What about that jawline? They don't hit you up about that jawline, Old Pony? I was sure you were gonna say your jawline, Old Pony. All right. It's the hair. All right. Hair, kindness, and making people laugh. DT Dub TV is hanging out over on YouTube as well, mixing it up. Appreciate you for popping over there. So let's see. Did we get them all? I think we got them all. All right. So yeah, I think being willing to acknowledge the things that people notice in us that they enjoy, it's a good skill because I think we need to hear it sometimes. It can make us feel good and build our confidence. And yeah, we feel down sometimes. We need to hear a positive word. So we got Valerie P on YouTube says, I get compliments on everything. On everything I question. I appreciate the compliments, but I tend to add a sometimes to the end of them. You get compliments on everything, but you always throw a sometimes. You got to qualify it. You can't just accept it as is. Huh. Yeah, I mean, you can't let them have it. You won't allow them to have it. It's like, let me love on you. Let me give you this. Just okay, all right. Reluctantly, I will accept it. All right. Are we ready to go to the next prompt? Go ahead and drop a heart in the chat, and we can get into that. Oh, we're at the top of the hour. So before we go to the next one, it's a good time to kind of shout out everybody who is in the room right now and do a few promos and stuff like that. So this is Morning Journal. I am your host, G. We do this every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. We had a few technical issues over on the video side, so we started late on that end because my camera wasn't working. And I know y'all wanted to see me, so I had to make sure my camera was working. But we got it going, and we do this 6 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, right here, live on Spoon, on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, and Twitter, multi-streaming for your ease of access. So if you enjoy this, I would love it, absolutely love it. I think what I'm focused on now, because it's the most universal platform, and I don't need y'all all on my Facebook, meet my family, not all of y'all, but YouTube, that's where I'm focused right now to try to get my subscribers up over there. And I'm also going to be dropping additional content related to the things that we talk about on the stream, diving deeper into some of these prompts and maybe sharing some of my thoughts, similar to what I was doing with the daily podcast. We can do that on YouTube as short videos. So I would love to get subscribers over there to go deeper into this content and stay connected. So YouTube, you can find the links. If you hit in the notice, there's a link to all the platforms where I'm live. I would love it if you would subscribe over there and drop a like. You can drop a like on the videos that you like. You know how it works. I appreciate you. Also to let you know that tonight, exclusively on Spoon, we have Rhythm and Muse and Writer's Room. Those won't be video live stream. It's just going to be just the audio live stream on Spoon. Rhythm and Muse, 6 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, followed by Writer's Room at 8 p.m. Those are our Friday evening streams, and we'll be done streaming for the week. We'll reconnect on Monday. So let me do a quick shout out of the folks who are in the room right now. We'll do the final plugs at the end to let us know when you're streaming, but I just want to say thanks to everyone who's in here. We got Warrior, Pandora, Alexis, Hyrith, Noble Ancient, Santa Thickness, Fast Asleep, Berlin, Mo Camps, Bex, and Tree are managing, and I appreciate every single one of you for spending time with me. We got folks over on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. I know Cybershots is in here, Valerie P, DT Dub TV, my mom. Thanks to all of y'all for being here. All right. If we are ready, let's get ready to go to our next prompt. I think we're ready. So we talked about the compliments, and let's shift our attention from compliments over to our own self-assessment, our own evaluation of where we are and where we stand in our experience. I think that it's important to measure ourselves against who we were, the journey that we've come through so far. It can be a little bit discouraging if we look at how far we have to go, because it's indefinite. And there are so many things that are outside of our control. But if we focus on our growth and all the ways that we have gotten better, then it is worthwhile to note that and celebrate that. So let's talk about getting better. And what ways are you better now than you were 1 month ago, 3 months ago, a year ago? How have you gotten better? So, Mo is here. Good morning, Mo. I hope that you're doing well. I know you're excited to wrap up your week. So, how are you better? And I guess what that requires to answer this question, it requires you to think about how are you now? A lot of times you hear the phrase, how are you? I'm fine. Maybe we could be a little bit more specific. How are you? In what ways are you better? And I think sometimes the most interesting ways that we get better um, are ways that we didn't even expect or intend. It just happened somehow because we kept going. So Hyrith says, oh man, my life is so much better now than it had been in decades in every way. That's great. You're in a really great moment right now. So I hope that you have a horizon in front of you that inspires you to keep going. Because it can be a little bit intimidating. Sometimes I think we get a little bit shaky when things are going well and we start kind of undoing it for whatever reason. So we have to be mindful, and sometimes it starts working and we forget or we neglect to do what's working. But I'm certainly glad that you're doing well. Berlin is shouting out everybody on YouTube. So Noble is sharing, the ways I have become better is by not comparing myself to anyone else. And since I really started taking my life one day at a time, I've become better by the day and by the second. Working with that day by day ruler. It's so easy to get caught up in other people's measurement, metrics, and values that we don't necessarily appreciate the unique things that we have. Thank you for the like, smoke camps. I appreciate you. "20 years is a long time, Iris. 20 years is a long time. But I don't think the younger you would even be able to appreciate it. So we have Alexis says that my mental health is better. I've done a lot of work to get here and realize I still have a ways to go to get where I need to be, but I am definitely not the same person I was a year ago. Right. Good morning, Carson. Welcome in. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here. We're talking about our growth right now. How are you better? So for Bex, my attitude and emotions are way better. I can tell from my cringy Facebook memories that I see every morning. Like, "Ugh, did I say that? What was I thinking? What was I thinking?" I think it's Kashin. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about how we've gotten better. What are some of the ways that we've grown? And I think that one of the things that's interesting about getting better is sometimes, even though things can be worse and you can be better, and the net is that everything is better because you are. Alexa says, I would not have been able to do these prompts a year ago. This would not be my vibe at all. So lots of change. Yeah, I think the habit of reflection and the habit of introspection, it can be a very, it's a valuable practice, but it can be very scary. We got two, somehow we have two Valeries in the chat right now over on the video side, and two Valerie P's at that. How about that? So cousin Neek is here. How we doing, Neek? How we feeling this morning? So Valerie says, I am better at understanding life. It's full of hills and valleys. I've learned to just see it through without thinking I'm the only one. Patience has taken the place of anxiety. Being able to say it is better for me. Being able to say it is better for me. I think I think Noble has shared that, and I think it might be an insight from like a recovery world, if or from the therapeutic world. If it's mentionable, it's manageable, or maybe it's Mr. Rogers. Maybe it's Mr. Rogers, but same thing. If it's mentionable, it's manageable. So we are definitely appreciating that insight. We're not in this alone. We're not suffering alone, even if it feels like it. And we just have to kind of wait through it. So we have Kishin says, growth is slow. Oftentimes I need to double back to learn a lesson that I may have skipped. Yeah. I don't know, um, y'all seen the meme of the meme of the person trying to stretch and skip steps. It's like, oh, you're gonna need that. You might want to come. You might want to come back and scoop up that lesson because you're gonna need it later. It's like when you play a game and you fail to get, you fail to get some achievement at a level. They'll let you pass, but you're gonna wish that you had that special tool that you left behind. So we got someone but no one. Kurt Cobain, Tiger PFK. Thanks, folks, for joining in. I really appreciate you. We're talking about growth right now. Um, yeah. Welcome in, Dot. Let us know, how are you better now? So Nick says, I'm on antidepressants. I know people have different beliefs on medication, but this really helped me. I'm smarter, more patient, and happier. Well, you have to take care of yourself. If you were struggling and there's a way to make yourself healthier, I'm glad that you found an intervention that works for you to help you manage what you're going through. So Cyber Shots has got to bounce. Cyber Shots, it's always great to see you. Cyber Shots is sending love to everyone. I appreciate you, fam. Over on YouTube, Valerie P says, I've learned new things since last month, 3 months ago. I'm more productive. 12 months ago, honestly, I think it was so bad I don't remember. Oh, it's like I can't even go there. 12 months ago? Sheesh. Yeah. It's amazing when you look back. I know that Bex was talking about YouTube with the memories, throwing your memories back in your face. I guess they assume that this is something that you want to see. But we have sort of this automated reflection tool built into the social media that we interact with. It's like, man, was that me? We don't need to rely on YouTube, or I'm not YouTube, Facebook. What am I talking about? Facebook to give us memories. I mean, I know a lot of you have been. This is episode 160 of the Morning Journal. So 160 times we've sat here first thing in the morning and kind of looked at the progress that we've been on, the journey that we've been on, and the progress that we've made in our life. And a lot of you have been to like a lot of them. Some of you have been to like 100 or more of the 160. And I know like the different things, the different milestones that you have shared. I can tell by the way that you answer the questions. I can see the growth and the depth that you have achieved through the process of intentional reflection, and I know that it works. So, with that said, let me just say this, kind of transition into a plug. The Morning Journal print edition is coming. Look for in the next week or so to be available. It's almost ready. I'm a big believer in journaling, and I think there's something powerful about writing down and preserving your reflection and having it as a tool to go back to. So, it'll be something that you can have open while you go through. If you're doing this live with us, you can have the journals there, the answer there, so that you can preserve it. Also, there'll be some prompts and spaces for you to keep track of your moods. So the daily check-ins, the gratitude, sort of the way that this show is kind of put together, the live stream, the journal is sort of like a print guided version of that. I think I've nailed down the prompts that we're going to use. So, that's what's up. So, all right. Little plug. So stay tuned. If you're subscribed and you're following on the channel, I'll make the announcements and put the links up when it's ready. Hopefully it'll be the time for you to get a great start off to your new year and all the resolutions and things that you're working on. So let's get back into the growth, talking about the ways that we're better. So Tiger says, 12 months ago, I was a rookie as a security guard and in training. Now I'm a fully licensed guard and more confident with my duties as security. There you go. I think anytime you get ready to start on a new career path, the first days are a little bit shaky, and sometimes that discomfort that you experience keeps you from stepping out and doing the thing that would make your life so much better. But now that you know, it's like as you record that experience, you have evidence. The next time you get ready to try something new, you remember in clear detail that this is just how it is in the beginning. I'm going to be okay. So folks are asking for signed journals. I guess, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to sign some, especially for the folks who've been along this journey for a while. You'll definitely, you know, the squad will definitely get signed versions for sure. All right. So here we are thinking about the ways that we've grown. I think I've covered all of the ones that we've shared. If we're ready, we can get ready to go to the next prompt. Just drop me a heart in the chat and we can get into that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about freedom. I think one of the things that um, we started talking about joy, we're talking about growth. I think one of the things that we aspire to have is freedom. A lot of the things that kind of rob us of the experience of joy is okay. What do we got here? My background ain't working. Come on now. Oh, there we go. Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely, it looks like the background is coming. But yeah, let's talk about um, freedom. Freedom. uh, I'm sorry. The question, I know you can't really see it in the background right now. It's coming though. I think. I hope so. But what is it that you want freedom from? What do you think is the thing that is maybe holding you back and preventing your freedom or hindering your freedom? And once you get that freedom, what might you do with it? So if you're in the chat right now, I guess if you're on Spoon, you can see the prompt, but it's not showing up on the desktop for whatever reason. Drop hearts in the chat if you can see it. Oh, everybody can see it. Freedom from freedom to. Is that what you see? Okay, it's just not showing up for me on my video feed. Okay, I'll just try to put it up for the folks who are watching. So the question that we're working with, I want freedom from, and I want freedom to, because I think it's important to have a pull coming from both directions. We want to be moving. Uh, a lot of times, we feel it's clear that we need to be moving away from something. Something is standing in our way, but it's not always necessarily clear exactly what we want to go to. So it's what we want to go to. So it's important to define both sides of that equation. So identify clearly what I want freedom from. And when I get that freedom, what do I want to do with it? What has you kind of bound up, locked up, confused? Depressed, held back, and something that you could, I mean, something that you could realistically escape from or move away from. I mean, because there's some things that are just going to be with us, and we just have to orient ourselves to that reality. But there's some stuff that we could probably just let go or escape from or release, however you want to describe it. So, so Alexis says, I want freedom from the grief I'm going through right now. I want freedom to be and express myself without fear of judgment or retribution. So, freedom from grief and freedom to be and express yourself without fear. So, with the grief, I think what grief so often does is it just gradually releases you, you know? Um, Sometimes the harder you struggle against it, the tighter the bind gets that you're in. So I think that freedom will come in time for sure. Bro Yodi, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. All right, we're talking about freedom from. So Aretha wants freedom from knee pain. Freedom from knee pain. So someone anonymously shares that I want freedom from my anxiety. I want to be free to also be okay. I haven't been feeling well the last few days. So yeah, I can definitely relate to that. We have our days, and sometimes we have a few of them in a row. So I appreciate that desire to be free. So the freedom from is what's holding you back. And the freedom to is the reason why you want that freedom. So as I said previously, Aretha wants freedom from knee pain, to be able to volunteer. You want to be free to be of service and to volunteer and not be held back by that physical pain. Ren is here. Welcome in, Ren. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about our pursuit of or our desire for freedom. What are you wanting freedom from, and what do you want to do with that freedom? Noble says, I want freedom from harsh critiques from those who have nothing to tell me. I want freedom to continue to learn and grow in who I am. It's like, Noble is like, yo, I don't need to hear this, man. You don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? I feel that, Noble. A lot of times people unqualified, unsolicited critiques can be pretty annoying, to be sure. Nobody's like, ain't nobody got time for that. Dot says, I want to be free from self-doubt so I can do more to achieve my goals in better light. Yeah, the doubts, your self-doubts can hold you back. The interesting thing about self-doubt is it can always creep up, and even when you've proven to yourself, even after you've done something, sometimes if you're not careful, that self doubt will creep up, especially if you don't take the time to close that circle, you know, take the time to notice and acknowledge what you've done and not dismiss it. So, taking the small steps in building your confidence as sort of a buttress against the doubt that inevitably is just like noise in your head. Um, that's a great freedom to pursue, or a great freedom to allow, because I think a lot of times the things that are inside of us that are kind of binding us up are things that we just need to release. We're holding on to them. We have this illusion that it's an outside in situation. We have this illusion that it's something out there that's holding us back, when it's really something that we are fighting to hold on to. And we just have to um, be willing to, like, let your hand fall open and just let it go. You don't even have to, like, just stop clinging. You don't even have to let it go. You just, like, just relax, and it'll fall away. You know, sometimes it's not even as serious as something that you have to physically do to force. A lot of times your self doubts will just kind of subside when you focus on something else. You know, it's just like, if you're having a conversation with someone and you're trying to talk to someone and they are ignoring you and focused on someone else, eventually you just kind of like sink into the background and walk away. You don't have to sit there and fight it. Just, you know, be in a conversation, be in a different conversation, be in a better conversation, be in a conversation, internal conversation with your reasons and your why, and the things that you are trying to, um, yeah, the things that you are growing towards. So Valerie P over on YouTube says, I want freedom from toxic self-criticism, insecurity, deservism, freedom to be confident and be able to focus on what matters. Deservism. I love that. I think I think that sometimes when we sit in that deservism, we are not able to appreciate grace, you know, because if you feel like you deserve everything, you rob yourself of the delight of being blessed with something that you didn't deserve, you know? You're so, you just, hey, I'm just going to be in this process and I'm be committed to it. And I know that if I stay on the path, then it's going to show up. I don't have to have my brow furrowed trying to fight for something. So I appreciate Berlin's. Yeah, I am. As people are responding to the prompts, I'm sharing those on the other platforms as well, Berlin. And I'm reading them to you so that you can hear what they are saying as well. We're all in this together. We're all in this together, all 20 of us. Zaddy Shrek, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. We're talking about what we are looking for freedom from and freedom to. We have Neek sharing that I want freedom from feeling like I'm behind in life or not succeeding as fast as others. I want freedom to feel peace, knowing that my story is just as good and successful. We are all on our own journey. And that comparison, I think Noble talked about that too, being occupied with other people's criticism and things turn around when you are able to let go of that. So the interesting thing, Berlin, I know you might be like checking out YouTube, and yeah, there's 3 people on YouTube, but there's also folks on Facebook and Twitch as well, and you can't necessarily see them, but I can see all of y'all. Oh, Zaddy Shrek, your spoon isn't working. Well, if you're having problems with Spoon, you can click the link if you want to be a part of this experience. If you click the link on my notice, you'll see a flow page. You can find me live on YouTube, Twitch. So if you want to, still listen in, and still, I'm live right now on all those platforms. So if you keep having problems, you can pop over there and check us out. So let's say more about freedom. Ren says, I want freedom from my friend because he's always telling me what to do. Need to let that person go. Got to let him go. Nobody likes that bossy friend, right? Nobody likes that bossy friend. Or maybe you are that bossy friend. Are you that one friend in the group that's always got to be the one to make the choices about what's going on? Are you that person? Just so you know, they talking about you as soon as you leave. They don't like you for real. They're trying to figure out how to get rid of you. Don't be that person. It's okay to be decisive and assertive, but nobody can tolerate that for too long. All right. Okay. Are we ready for another one? Are we ready for another one? Drop me a heart in the chat if we're ready for the next prompt. Levels of freedom. Okay. All right, let's find it. So I thought I had all of the ones I was using today bookmarked, but alas, I didn't get this one. So just bear with me 1 second as I look through. Quick reminder again, this is the last stream of the week for YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. It's a Monday through Friday situation. So I'm glad this is like my first full week streaming on all the platforms, and I'm kind of getting the hang of it. I appreciate your patience as I work through the setup and any of the technical difficulties and things like that. But I'm grateful to have y'all here watching and listening, and I love the comments that I get afterwards for people who check it out later. Alexa says, is it Purple Friday? Is it ever? Is it ever? Do we want to do a loyalty check to see who's up? We can go through. Y'all want a loyalty check before we go to the next prompt? Well, let me open up the request box so y'all can start answering, and I'll go through and do a loyalty check. Like, oh man, loyalty. So for those watching on other platforms, on Spoon, you get like points for like showing up to the streams regularly, and it's like a meter that says how often you show up And on Purple Friday, we have subscriptions to the stream. You see folks who are ringed in purple in the chat, those are subscribers. And usually we jump somebody into the gang on Purple Friday. Somebody does. So that's what Alexis is talking about with Purple Friday. So the best thing that happened to me this week. All right, yeah. So while we're doing that, I'll just run down. So Mo has 4 bars of loyalty. Dot has 2 bars of loyalty. Pandora has 3 bars of loyalty. Alexis has 4 bars. Noble has 4 bars. Berlin has 4 bars. Bex has 3 bars. And Tree has 4 bars. And if I didn't call your name, you don't have any bars. You haven't been around enough. Get your weight up. But it's a lot of. But the cool thing is there are a lot of 4s in the chat. A lot of 4s. No 5s just yet. It's hard to get that 5 because I don't stream every day. Nick says, I want to be a part of Great Gang. So we're talking about the best thing that happened this week. Noble Ancient says, the best thing that happened to me this week was I successfully tested Random Dungeon, and my next task is to recreate the set for sending. Mo, thank you so much for the like. I appreciate it. Mew says, I have bars. It's just I deactivated my old account. Shame on you. Shame on you. You should have kept it. Everybody leaving in a huff, getting mad. It's like, ugh. And then here you come back. All right. So the best thing that happened to me this week was. So what's a good thing that happened this week? I know there might have been some difficult things, but what's the best thing? Someone anonymously shared that I guess you can say I learned lessons, that the best out of the storm lessons, that's the best out of the storm I've been going through, learning the lessons. So the best thing that happened is I learned. Let me say this. Don't miss the lesson. Don't suffer for nothing. I mean, the hard times are kind of like par for the course. It's gonna be difficulties. And don't let the suffering be in vain. Don't let the difficulty be in vain. There's something in there for you. Like, there's some sort of gem inside of that obstacle that you overcome, something to learn. And if you don't take the time to look for that and acknowledge that and take that lesson, then the suffering is in vain. You can even find gratitude for that part. Nick says, the best thing this week was I don't have bars in G Stream. I need to be a better cousin. Lesson learned. I've been sleeping. Funky Nitro, Eclipse Sunset, thank you for joining us. Let us know what's been the best thing that happened for you this week. So for Alexis, Noble and I did my game stream on Tuesday before everything happened, and it was so much fun. There you go. Yeah, it was. Tuesday was Tuesday was fun. Tuesday was fun. I was hanging out with y'all on Tuesday. Well, I mean, um, for the gamer shop, I was there, and I had fun. Kalina is here. How we doing today, Kalina? It's good to see you. Let us know what's the best thing that happened this week for you as we come to a Friday, wrapping things up. So I'll say for me, oh, I was in the game stream too. I did go through there, didn't I? I don't know. This week has been really busy for me. So last week we did a like um, the last storytelling workshop for the year was last night, and it was good for me to like complete that workshop. Um, just having that kind of off my shoulders, so now I can start thinking about the holiday. And I mean, I still have some work to do, but you know, it was good to get that done. Quasha is here. How you doing this morning, Quasha? So Retha enjoyed the journal. Probably needs to get going and get started with the day. Maybe put on some music and you know go through your devotion. I'm always glad to see you here, Mom. Kalina says, Uncle G, I feel like a new person. The voice of the fat mantis says, yo, I missed all the fun. You haven't missed all the fun. We got a few minutes left. You came in just in time for the last prompt. My cousin Michael is here. Good morning, Michael. Thanks for joining us. Got your coffee. Well, Michael, you're gonna have to catch that replay, son, because we about to be finished. You might have to back it back and listen back because we are coming down. We got about 15 minutes left, so you can enjoy the vibes for these last few minutes and answer the question that you see on the screen right now. What's the best thing that happened to you this week? Would you say it's the best thing that happened to you this week? So Kalina says, I gave everything to God and now I'm new. It feels great. That's the best thing that happened to me. That's a powerful experience, Kalina. DJ Prodigy is in the building. What's up, DJ Prodigy? We're having water. We're having a few moments to just kind of think about coming down, the best thing, looking for the best, looking for the lesson. I think that a lot of times when we start thinking about it, the thing that felt like the worst thing ended up being the best thing because of how it transformed us or how it gave us an opportunity to grow. Because our kind of subjective experience, the things are always happening. They're always all the things. And we could judge them. And I'm sort of asking you to judge them now, but I want you to try to take a sort of expansive view of that judgment, because you can experience something as good just because you are so much better than you used to be. And as we stay focused on those areas, you know, there are a lot of times we look at things as problems. And if there's a solution, and there's a solution that you can enact, and it's not really a problem, it's just a project, right? And it's a project that you are choosing to engage in or not. If you could solve it, it's really not a problem. It's a project. And you choosing not to engage or engage. And if you can't solve it, if it's out of your control, it's really not a problem then either, because you don't have any way to, you know, it's a situation. You don't have any control. So as all these things kind of weigh on us and we go through these experiences, I think that the things that might look bad now turn out to be the best thing. If we take an expansive view, maybe this week we had a realization of something that happened to us before that we dreaded turned out to be exactly what we needed. So Kale Official is here. Welcome, Kale. I always like to try to end the conversation, and you can continue to answer about the good things that happen, but always want to end the conversation or end the stream with a very practical step that you can take. Um, so let's do that. And also let me say, um, let me compliment myself for the haphazard job I did in organizing these prompts today, because I was just so certain I had them all in one folder so I could get to them real quick, but that's not the case. That's not at all the case. So give me a second. We're gonna find it. I appreciate your patience. So while I'm looking, Mantis, the voice of the fat Mantis says, "I had peace this week," and that is the tweet. I had peace. That's the tweet. I don't know. A lot of things, it's hard to put it in a nutshell. I don't know why nutshells are the metaphor that we use. Everything doesn't necessarily want to exist in a nutshell. It doesn't seem really a comfortable place to contain the expansiveness and the richness of our experience. But sometimes we need to put stuff in there just so that we can carry on and move forward. So here we are. So Ren, from the last prompt, says that getting to talk to you in your lives, it makes me so happy to see you every morning. Ren, it makes me happy to see you as well. I'm glad to have you here. I'm glad this experience continues to be valuable for you. Quasha, thank you so much for the like. I appreciate it. Quasha started off the week organized, well rested, also polished up that resume. You know, there you go. All right. So let's talk about the practical thing that we want to take out of here. We're going to think about the easiest problem that we can solve today. There's an easy win out here for us. There's some low-hanging fruit. It's the easiest non-problem, should I say. Let's get that easy work, because I think it's always important. A lot of times you come down to the end of the week and you're just glad that you made it to the end of the week. But what can we get from the experience? Can we finish strong? So the voice of the fat mantis says that it makes me happy too when I can wake up and catch this. I'm glad that you are up and checking it out as we're thinking about those easy wins and that low hanging fruit, should we say? Um, I owe this experience to the folks on since it is Purple Friday. As you're thinking about those easy wins that you can take, we'll do it to this sound. So going to school again for Ren. If you find that easy, definitely. Yeah, it's not too late. So the easy win for Noble, what I need for the next step in my game design journey, just learn that next step. That's an easy win. For the voice of the fat mantis over on YouTube, call my doctor, make the appointment. Low hanging fruit. Just got to pick up the phone. Maybe there's a phone call you need to make, an email you need to send. Just something small. So for Alexis, it's feeding the psychotic ESA named Harley Quinn Bunny. Yeah, Harley's got to eat. So for everybody, if you were on Spoon and you want some Friday morning wake up vibes, make sure you check out DJ Prodigy. He's up in here, getting the party rocking. I appreciate you, Prodigy. Thank you so much. So keep seeking those easy wins, easy problem you can solve to put a bow on the week. Man, I sure do appreciate y'all. I will be back tonight for Rhythm and Muse. That's at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, let me say this. Anybody who also is, if you are on Green Room, I know that the voice of the Fat Mantis is watching on YouTube right now. But if you're on Green Room, there is brunch with the Fat Mantis that happens every morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time that you can definitely check out and hang out. If you're missing some of your friends that might have not be on the app no more, you might bump into them over there on in brunch having tea and crumpets with Manchester. Also, I do believe we can go to work. So there's a couple places you can go. We only got 3 minutes left. You got to go home. You do have to get out of here because we're almost done. But there are some cool places you can go. You can go get ready and go to work with Mo and here in a second. Yeah. Who else is in here? Trees here. The tree house is tonight. You can check out Berlin on YouTube at DTW TV. You can check out Santa Thickness on Twitch as J Thickness. You can check out, well, today I don't know who else is going live today, but I appreciate y'all. This is an opportunity for you to put some purple in the chat. If you're on Spoon, we can spam it out. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And yeah, this has been fun. This has been fun. All right, folks, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, thank you for all of your participation. Thanks for putting the purple in the chat. I will see y'all next time. Take care.